Oh, YouTube. YouTube so quick, so quick. Some days it happens that way. Sometimes it's YouTube, sometimes it's Facebook. So let me just start this out with a little bit of fun. Hey, everybody. I am Louis Porter Jr., and you're watching Transparency Agenda Daily. Today is Thursday. May the 4th be with you, but for me, it's a much better day. It's a much more important day. It is my son's 7th birthday. Very serious, very, very serious. So I've made a conscious decision to finally let him see Star Wars. Because it was, dude, it's he's a little kid. I didn't want to see it before. I think he was ready. I saw it when I was 7, so I mean, all it did was make me into a kind of fiend for this kind of stuff. So I guess it was a good thing. So I want him to watch it, kind of like with me. Watch all the movies. You can watch them. Maybe we'll do it this weekend. Plus, we're going to do some other stuff. But I want him to enjoy Star Wars in the same kind of awesomeness that I saw it in. And he can ask me a bunch of questions. And he can be like, well, who's that? What's that? Oh, my God, what's that? So I can really enjoy it. So that's kind of my cool birthday present to my son. Besides the other stuff he got from his grandparents and friends and family. And, oh, my God, and thank you to everybody who sent presents. I really do appreciate that. It's a lot of stuff. Just a lot of stuff. So let's get into it tonight. This is because the title's kind of crazy, but you'll understand later. So let's get into it right off the bat. Let's talk about our Kickstarters because, people want to know about Kickstarters. People want to know who's making real money and who's faking it. That's kind of important. So right off the bat, Lore of the Gods. They are at 3,800, about $189 away from reaching their goal. 13 days, they're going to make it. So we're going to see where it goes from there. That's when it gets really interesting to me. I did see, I think, another one of their ads somewhere else floating around. So I like that. I like that these guys are actually starting to pay attention to what I tell you when I say, hey, you might want to do this. So that's kind of nice people are paying attention. Dark Naga, the City of Talos, 5th edition. They are less than $500 away from hitting their goal. So they're also very close. They have 9 days left. I expect them to hit their goal soon, and then we'll see what other cool stuff they add on. And onto the big, railroad. Is that what we call it? Railroad? All right, railroad that's going on. Eclipse Phase, 2nd edition, 108,000 off their initial goal of 35,000. 13 days left. I'm sure this thing's going to rock. I'm not going to talk anymore about like it's going to rock, because it's going to rock. Here's something cool though. At 115,000, the freelancer bonus is doubled. I think that's a great idea. Locked. All Eclipse Phase 2nd edition contributors all get a larger bonus to their paychecks. Now, that's something that I'm really tempted to think about doing for my Kickstarters. I like the idea. I think it's a brilliant thing to do. And I think people appreciate getting some more money. Hey, Angel, what's going on? I mean, who doesn't appreciate more money? I appreciate more money. So why wouldn't they appreciate more money? Just a thought, something that's got me in my mind like, maybe we should try that. Maybe that might be something. So you never know. You never know. It could work out right if I did it right. I will have to see. All right. With that, let's move on to some other fun stuff that's going on. Let's do some self-promotion fun, because I got to do my self-promotion stuff. Of course, if you haven't checked it out already, please check out our Neo-Exodus Legacies. It is awesome. I've added some cool stuff. We're getting you even more and more stuff that's going on behind the scenes. It's like I said, every day we're adding a little bit of stuff so you can see what we're planning, see what we're doing. Stuff that we're stealing from other people that we think work very well. Something I want to steal very much from our buddies Henry over at did Living Arcanist. Something that I don't think ever came out, but he talked about doing. I thought it was a brilliant idea. I'm surprised it ever came out. One of those weird things. It just didn't happen that way. Oh, there it is. Okay. And Stonemeyer, let's see if anything new. I didn't check today, see if anything's new today. I'm hoping you have something new. I haven't checked today. Been a very busy day. Nope, nothing new. But like I said, you can still read through their old blogs and still get great information. So don't kid yourself. Just because nothing new today doesn't mean you have like a day off and not do anything. You should be reading, getting some more information, get some more ideas in your head, because that's what's important. So, okay. So the title today, maybe I should quit all this. That thought happens a lot. Thanks, John. That happens a lot. A lot of people don't realize how lonesome a job like this can be. So after a while, we start doing it for a bit, you get kind of uninspired. You're like, oh, dude, should I just toss it all away? Because it's easy. It's easy to toss it all away. It takes no brain power. Doesn't have to be any thought process. You can be like, I'm done. I'm done with all this. I'm going to go do something else. I'm going to sell, fish to people or something, And, thankfully enough, I know enough people in this industry who've talked me down time or time again. And it's kind of this feeling that you just don't, it's not that you just don't feel the same about the stuff that you used to. Like, okay, for example, we have a project we're finishing up, Crisis on Infinite Earth, I'm about to say. Crisis of the World Eater. That's the last project I have outstanding before we have to work on really Neoxys Legacies. But that's it. I mean, once that's done, it's like Neoxys Legacies. And I'm like, okay, how can I make Legacies different? What can I do different about that? I'm like, there's so many ideas bouncing around, but I've got to, God, man, I gotta finish this whole thing with Crisis. And I was initially excited with Crisis because I thought it was a cool idea, but I really handled it the wrong way. And what I mean by that is when we did when I made it, I should have been like, okay, let's focus on making this for New Exodus. And I didn't. I made it for a generic world because for some reason I kept saying to myself, and this has happened many times, don't kid yourself, I'm saying this. I keep saying, well, I think New Exodus is too far to the right. It's too much not fantasy. It's too much not Tolkien. And people seem to want Tolkien. People say they don't want Tolkien, but they keep buying it. But then I just think to myself, it's like, no, I don't want to play a Tolkien game. It doesn't interest me. There's nothing in it for me. So why would I do that? I'm like, well, no, maybe you should go back and do something more generic. So that's why I said that's why I did Crisis in a generic setting. If I was smart, I would have done Crisis in New Exodus because the story's solid. I mean, the story's solid. Don't get me wrong. The adventure's solid, but I think it would have made me even more personal to me. I made a mashup of two comics that I really, really like, but I made it kind of in a vacuum. It's like I made Crisis on Infinite Earths and the Ultimate Galactus story, but not in the setting that I should have put it in, where it would fit very well and make a lot of sense. I kind of avoided that, and I looked back and I was like, oh, I really missed an opportunity. And this is why it's like this thing isn't as exciting as it was, because I finished it. I mean, it is finished a while ago. We got the art in. It's all laid out. It's 104 some odd pages. I did the PDF last night. I've got to send it to press and get it ready. But I'm not as excited when I was with New Exodus. I mean, New Exodus, I was like, man, oh my God. And this is like, yeah, okay, it's not the same. It's not the same. And I regret that. I shouldn't have done that. And you get to a point where you do this for long enough. I mean, I've been doing this now almost 17 years. You're like, do I want to quit and do something else? Do I want to quit all this and just do something else? And what do I really want to do? Because I don't think I'm doing enough of this. I think I've done. I'm not excited as I was, even when I was in the trenches. 10, 15 years ago, when I was fighting with publishers, it was still exciting. It was like, oh my God, everything was exciting. You're putting out new product, and and like I said, I haven't really put out a new product this year, and I've been like, if we put something out, that's great. If not, and I've kind of taken that kind of backward step. And even with Transparency Agenda, I'm like, oh, do I really want to do it 4 nights a week? Do I have enough stuff to talk about it 4 nights a week? I don't know. And then, so today I just sat and I took a great nap at work. I took a nap. We have quitting my job. We have a lunch period from 12 noon to 1 that the entire company is closed down. Everybody's there, can't do nothing. Can't do nothing from those hours because we're gone to lunch. Everyone's gone to lunch. Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter what level you are gone during this period. You cannot go. That's what I love. So usually what I do, I'll eat my lunch, and then I'll go take a 20-minute walk, and I'll come back in my office. I'll sit and either read or just relax, whatever. But then I said, I'm going to take a nice little nap. So I got a good 20-minute nap, like a solid, like, wow, that was good. I really needed that kind of nap. And when I woke up, I remembered about something that I started a while ago. The project that I always thought would eventually get off the ground, but it never did. And this project was started, oh God, Pixelbox must have been started 2008-ish, 2007, 2008. Pixelbox, the premise of Pixelbox was very, very simple. It was a channel I was going to make online that people who did TV shows, like little shows like The Mercury Men, if you haven't seen that. Oh, I'm not going to put the freaking code in there, guys. I'll put it in. I'm going to type it in quick, and I'll get the link later. But Mercury Men was a online, there's an online, I guess, episodic show that came out on YouTube, and the guy who did it, can't remember his name now because that would be smart of me. He came out, made the show. It was very, very cool, professionally done, a great looking show, and people would be like, "Oh yeah, oh sorry, The Mercury Men to be exact," because that's kind of important. So I got the link, so I'm just doing a little link real quick. So he did this thing, and I thought it was really cool. And I was like, geez, I wish he would do more shows like this. I wish people could do more shows like this and put stuff like this online. And I said, I wish there was a website you could do this. And this is kind of like not what YouTube does, because YouTube just puts everything up there. This would be a site that's specifically focused on new and up and coming people coming out. And the name of this company is called Pixelbox. That's Pyxel box. And I kept going with the whole concept being the revolution that might be televised. And I kind of did a variation of that. And I bought the .com name. I've had it for years. I developed how the site was going to look and everything. But it never got off the ground. I didn't have enough money. I didn't have enough control. It was just an idea in my head. But the cool thing that made Pixelbox really great was not only we're going to focus on getting these shows, we're trying to hope to get like large corporations, like, you know, all the big corporations say, hey, look, we all know you do pilots. Everybody knows that these companies do pilots of the shows they're going to do. And usually the shows, you know, like the pilots are very expensive, and the companies make them and they take them, they use them, they don't use them, whatever. The money just goes away. They don't do anything with it. I'd be approaching these companies going, look, we want to take your pilots, all the undone stuff, put them on our website, let people track, see what the people like, and then we do something that, funny enough, Amazon actually started doing. They started doing, you know, a week of, here's these new shows, test these new pilot week, let's test these shows out, and if you like them, boom, you vote on them that way. That was something I thought of years ago, and I was like, when I saw it on them, I was like, oh, those guys are so smart, that's a good idea. But I thought it would have been better on a smaller scale, a much, much smaller scale. I'm talking like, you know, any small independent company that was putting out something that was okay or kind of okay, or even something that was like, oh, that's crappy, they'd have a form for it, and you could do that kind of stuff. On top of that, you could let other companies. I have a buddy of mine who grew up with me, Mark Viniello. Mark Viniello does special effects. Mark was doing special effects when we were kids. I mean, when I was, you know, 13, 14, God, even probably younger than that, probably like 12. Well, yeah, maybe like 12, 13. Mark was a special effects geek. He loved that kind of stuff. We're talking early 80s, so very practical effects before computers put stuff. And he'd always wanted to do that stuff. And, you know, we went to high school, we went off to college, Fast forward 20 years later, Mark's been involved in California out doing special effects for like the last 20 years. You've seen some of his work on, and this makes me laugh when I think about this, Lord of the Rings. He was in that, he was doing that over in New Zealand, did all that, came back to the US. The last big thing that I know they did that was really huge, that most people know him from, was True Blood. He was a special effects supervisor on that. And I'm like, hey, I know that guy, you know, and we hooked him again on Facebook and just talking, and his wife has her own company too. So it's like, it's very kind of cool. It's very kind of cool to know that. You know, Mark is, you know, I've known Mark a long time. He worked on Slither, which I did not know. He worked on Slither, and there's a video of him and James Gunn, and Michael Rooker all talking about at his shop where he worked, talking about the special effects and stuff. And it's so weird, but it's so surreal, you know, because the funny joke is that, hey, I know that guy, and I almost decapitated him with a Frisbee. That's another story. That's another story I'll tell you. If you ever see me at a con, ask me about that one. Yeah, it was hilarious. Oh my! Well, not me trying to decapitate him, but it's just one of those kid stories. So, you know, we're having fun. Weird things happen when you have fun. I almost did decapitate him, really. I mean, with a Frisbee. That is actually a true story. So, you know, it's like, I want to get that kind of technical information. People who want to know, well, how do you do this? How do you do that? Because Mark was the guy who taught me like what movie blood was. Because I was terrified. I was terrified of horror films when I was in my like early teens. I was definitely afraid of them. I hated them. Mark loved them, and he'd be like, "Oh no, dude, that's Cairo syrup and this coloring and da 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 da." And he'd tell me like, I'm like, oh. So once he broke down what it really was, it became more of like, oh, that's kind of interesting. What is the technical aspect of that? So that's where my love of science fiction, that kind of stuff, and special effects come from. So I wanted to do that kind of thing for this website, Pixelbox, that you'd have all this information. It'd be this big, huge resource. We go to 3D studios, you know, practical, computer, show how people did the stuff. Here's the low budget version, and do an entire network based on that online. Now, of course, I could still do something like that, but it's going to take a lot of money. Splash forward to now. And I kept saying to myself, well, you know, I keep doing Transparency Agenda daily, and then I talk about RPGs all the time. But I think that audience is too small. I mean, let's just be honest. I talk to too small of an audience. But I could talk about something else that I love that falls in very, very much like with Transparency Agenda, and that's more of the comic-related stuff. So with that, I kept saying, you know, I can talk about all kinds of stuff because for me, I see RPGs as the ideas are great, but I still think the execution is still very, very 20th century. And this is the 21st century. How can we do things radically different than what people are typically used to seeing. And why aren't we thinking in different ways? Like, for example, the thing that still blows my mind that I do not understand, and even Paizo doing it, I still don't get this. Paizo makes a comic book through Dynamite, and they've got a pretty good following. They do it pretty well. I don't understand why Paizo doesn't do an actual web comic, like a one-page web comic, because they kind of know what to do. But a web comic, they do it online, they boom, and just put out content, short stories, 8, 10, 12-page comic stories. That's it. Very, very short stuff. And then you start, you stick with your main iconics in the main comic book, but then you do smaller ones, not really smaller people, smaller iconics that are less known. You do them in like 8-shot stories, and you put them out. You do 8 pages, bam, 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 bam. Here's a story, here's 8 pages. Is it good? Great, boom. We don't print them, we just do them digitally. Boom. And if it works that way and you build some more audience, which is very possible because web comics work differently than traditional comics, and there's fan bases for them, and people can be interested, you could do it like that, and then draw more people to come to it. And two of the biggest websites for comic book news are ICV2 and Newsarama. ICV2 was originally called Internal Correspondence from Capital City. Capital City used to be the second largest distributor, but during the massive destruction of distribution in the early 90s, i.e., there are three, at the time there are three main distributors. There's Diamond, Capital, and Heroes World. And Diamond had probably like 40%, Capital had like 35%, and the remaining like 10-ish, 15% was Heroes World. So those three companies made the majority of comic book distributors in the US at the time, in up to like 93, 94. Then something radical happened. DC signed an exclusive deal with Diamond. And Diamond is Steve Jeppy, who's out of Baltimore. I'm very familiar with it because I've lived in Baltimore and I know what it's like. Then Marvel did something even crazier. So it's like, boom, all of a sudden, so here's Capital. Your two biggest sellers are Marvel and DC. Now, one of your biggest sellers just left you to go to your competitor. Whoop. Oh, well, thank God we got Marvel. We can maybe survive with Marvel. Then Marvel announces they're buying Heroes World, the third largest guy. Boop. And this is what kind of happened to the guys over at Capital City. They lost 80%, if not 85% of their sales in the course of like maybe 3 or 4 months. And then it was like crumble. And Capital City just went under. They didn't have anything to save them. They went under quickly. They found out what it was like to be at the mercy of somebody else very quickly. And there wasn't enough, and independent was not as big as like it is now, but it's like there was not enough independent to keep it even slightly afloat. So Capital went under like boop. And then like Marvel finally got Heroes World running up and running. Diamond then went out and aggressively got the other accounts that Capital had fallen apart. And so Diamond kept growing and growing. Well, Marvel tried to run Heroes World for a long time. They find out they couldn't do it right. They ran into so many problems. It was hilarious. They like Trump said, this distribution is hard. So Heroes World crumbled. Then Marvel said, okay, we're going to have an exclusive deal with Diamond. Now, Diamond then, at this moment, Diamond controls like 85% of the market with Marvel and DC, 85% of the comic book market. So if you were a store and you wanted, Marvel or DC, you could only go to one place to get it. Now, technically, it wasn't a monopoly because you could buy them from anybody. They just choose to distribute themselves to this one location. And my God, they ran roughshod over everybody. And Diamond became the world's largest distributor, and they became the exclusive distributor. Do I have a Diamond's catalog close by? I don't think I have another one. But the Diamond catalog is like yay thick. It's newspaper print. Comes out every month. Hell, this is one of the spinoffs of it. Game Trade. Game Trade owned by Alliance. Alliance is owned by Diamond. Alliance used to be the Armory. The Armory used to be something separate that did games. Now, the Armory has become Alliance, and Alliance is owned by Diamond. And Diamond tells you what to buy and what you can get. And if you don't make it in this book, you're not going to make it in most stores. Dun, dun, dun. It means it's bad for the economy. You have no idea how bad it is because Diamond controls everything. Diamond controls the distribution of anything. Anything becomes popular, Diamond has to get it. There are no independent guys. Oh, no, that's not true. There's about 7 or 8 independent distributors who still do indie comics. And it's so small and so insignificant, most people don't even hear about it. You have an account with Diamond. It's not even a question. You're going to have an account with Diamond. Because if you want to get some product in your store, you're going to have an account with Diamond. You're going to get some gaming stuff, you're going to have an account with Alliance. The game is a little bit better. There's like four 4 or 5 major gaming distributors. Well, even well, overseas, you can get like maybe 12 altogether. That are like really big names that still moving stuff. But comics, you got one. And if you get shut out of that, and I tell you the truth, I've been with Alliance, and Alliance was painful to deal with because my salesperson was pretty useless and they fired her. Yeah, I mean that in a nice way. They fired her. They needed to. When you call someone up every other week asking, why is my product selling? They're saying, oh, people aren't ordering it. I'm asking my resources. Oh, they're saying that you're out of stock. This is something I had to find out later. See how this becomes a real tangent and get all this weird stuff? When I had to basically sign up as like kind of retail to see how much we're selling through. And they kept saying, oh, we don't have any in stock. And I was like, that's what my research was saying, that there were none in stock at the warehouses. I go check the warehouses. They had like 6, 7 copies of stuff. I'm like, oh, why are you telling me it's 0? Because really, they didn't want to sell my stuff. They wanted to sell the other big stuff they made the great margin with, like the Magic and stuff like that, because that was huge. They didn't really want to sell my stuff. My stuff was stuff they just put on the shelves, and they charged me to hope to have it there, but they wouldn't sell it. So eventually, get tired, be like, oh God, send it back or whatever. And it was just kind of crazy. That's how it was. Thanks, Thomas. Yes, you're about 4 in the U.S. But this is what happened. So this is why I've always been kind of shy in distribution, because their interests are not my interest. And yeah, they make me money, but at what cost? At what cost? I can sell direct. And some stores like, well, I don't want to sell direct. I think if there's a system in place that you could order from Amazon and have Amazon do it, like we print from Create Space, and they're gonna do the distribution. You can buy from there. Boom. I think people would find that useful, but still, that's not even perfect. So flipping back to the rest of the stuff I was saying, I'm gonna start adding more comic related stuff. I'm gonna add more movie related stuff. I'm gonna talk even more about it, because the comic industry is very much like the RPG industry, and there's a lot of good ideas that are there that can be transferred over. I believe that totally. I think there's a lot of good things that people can find and use in that. Hold on, that book. Oh, perfect timing. So like there's this book. Got this one a long time ago. Specialty Shop. How to create your own unique and profitable retail business. Great book. And people are like, well, why do you have it? Well, I have it because it talks about specialty shops, and as we as manufacturers want to make the people we sell to specialty shops where people come. I should actually get this. I'm gonna write down this on a list so you all can see and have a link for it. Because I'm all about giving you guys good information. But it's one of those things that, oops, I should say better. I think we need to start looking at the business like a business. And I think a lot of us don't. A lot of us think it's something cool and fun to do. And look, my name's on a book. Look, I get it. I get the ego stroke. You want your name on the book? Sounds awesome. Here's a little hint, as you can see from me. I don't put my name on my book. My name is my company. Boom, that's it. But I don't put my name on my books. My name goes inside the books where it's important, and that's what matters. And that's where it should matter. But a lot of people want to see their name in the book. It makes them feel, like they've done something. And it's don't put. I just don't care. I'm not gonna lie. I do not care if my name's in the outside of the book. I care if my book is awesome. I care if people enjoy it. But once again, I also name myself, like the company. So when you talk, this is something that Donald Trump was right about, and I learned it from him, and I got to give him credit where credit is due. You should name your company after yourself, because every time they talk about your company, they're talking about you, and it's one and the same. That's why it's Lewis Porter Jr. Design. Every time you say it, you're saying my name, and I know that. That's why I did it this way. I'm no rocket science, but that's a good plan. People know who I am. People know who my face is. People do the videos. I want to do these videos. I want people to see what I look like. So when they see me, oh, I saw your videos. That's why I do this. This is why I'm very visual about this. Everyone who's involved in this, writers especially, do videos. Show your face. Show what you look like. Artists, show your face. Show yourself drawing. Oh, see, Jesus just came on. Mr. Blondes. He does tons of art. He does stuff he draws. You can see him, but look at his face. So you know him. You're out in the field. You're out somewhere in a con, be like, oh, I met you face to face. Show your face. Your face should be your calling card. It may not be a pretty face. I mean, you can't be as adorable as moi, but it's the face you got. Show it off. People need to see you. So when they see you, they're like, oh my God, they want to come shake your hand. They want to get your drinks. They want to take pictures, kissing babies. You got to be that guy. Be that guy. This is why I vlog. Of course, a lot of people don't want to do it. People are like, oh, no one wants to hear what I have to say. No one wants to look at me. Yes. Look, to do what I do, all you need is a $80 camera and a $50 mic. And bam, I'm running. Just running with it. Boom, that's it. That's the health. And remember, I used to shoot it on this. This is how I've gone from my expensive S6 to 130, 140 bucks worth of equipment. And that's it in your computer. But that's it. That's it. This is it. I'm running it off of this. This is how low budget I've done it. I am this level low budget. You can do this too. You can do it once. So if you're not sure you want to do it, you kind of start it once a month. Do it once a month. Do like a little, hey, this is releasing this month. Hey, I'm kind of nervous. Tell people what you're doing. Be friendly. Boom. Ta-da. And just start. And just keep it consistent. So yeah, man. Should I quit all this? Yeah, I should. But I'm not going to. Are you kidding me? No way. I'm not going to. As much as it drives me crazy, as much as I'm not as big as some of the companies I'd like to be big as, there's tons of companies that I'm much smaller than that I'd love to be as big as. Hell, Frog God, I'd love to be as big as Frog God. Frog God has a huge fan base. They raise hundreds of thousands of dollars for their Kickstarter. They are solidly well known. Legendary Games, $50,000, $60,000 they raise on theirs. Solid guys, well known. You know, my biggest one to fame is like $14,000. Now, don't get me wrong, that's in the scum. That's $14,000 I didn't have before. So I'm not like, oh, but yeah, I want to be big. I would love to do a $50,000 Kickstarter. Why not? Yeah, oh my God. $50,000 Kickstarter? I would not do it myself. I'd be an arrogant putz more than I am. You know, it's just, oh my God. So Sean did something real quick. Obfuscation in its itinerary daily. Yes, you can do that. That's okay. You can change it. You can call it whatever you want. Your show is your show. Who are you again? Why is this random shit? I've been drinking. That's why I'm random. That's what's important here. I just think, you know, it's just, look, I'm not the best person at this, but I'm going to try my hardest at it. And I'm not loved by everybody. And I know that. I'm not loved by everybody at Paizo. Yeah, do you know there's some people at Paizo who do not like me personally? The funny part is I've never met those people personally. Anybody usually meets me personally, usually knows like, he's not a bad guy. If you see me on the internet, I sound like a maniac because I'm on the internet. Everyone sounds like a maniac. Just relax. If you see me in person, there's a probably good chance I'm going to be very quiet. We're going to talk about something kind of cool, especially talk about comic books. We can get excited about comic books. That's when I really come alive. You can discuss, if you're going to do things, discuss like why you think Batman's better than Captain America. That's a 4-hour conversation right there with me. I mean, Jesus, I can be like, what are you on, crack? Of course Cap's better. And we can go into it. You know, it's like, that could be fun. You know, what's the best team ever? The best team ever technically is the Teen Titans. But I'm going to say the one that I thought was the most interesting in the shortest amount of time was the Young Avengers. Not even the New Warriors. I like the New Warriors a lot. I always have. Young Avengers, that first run, and I mean the first one, the best one by Alan Heisenberg. Highland, whatever. The first series one, that was great. 12 issues, bam, bam, bam. That was awesome. And it was. Plus Jimmy Chun was doing the art, which I love his artwork, so he's one of my favorites, so it didn't matter. But yeah, man, that was an awesome series. So we can talk about all kinds of stuff. So this show's we're gonna be expanding. We're gonna be doing more stuff. I'm gonna bring in some more of the stuff that I was gonna do with Pixelbox. I'm gonna add it to this. I'm gonna get more people on. I'm gonna talk about more stuff. But don't kid yourself. It's not like I'm gonna ever stop talking about RPGs because I think RPGs are always cutting edge. I'm even gonna talk more about video games. Some ideas that we should steal more from video games. Because look, we can steal good ideas from video games. They have a lot of good ideas. Let's find ways that we can incorporate it for ourselves in not just comics, not just role plays, for like companies to make us bigger. Because look, when everything's said and done, we make games. Yeah, I make games. I make product. I make stuff. I know. But really, I'm making intellectual property. There's value to this. So with this value, we should find ways to help make us money. Because when we make the money, we only make the whole industry better. Because everyone will tell you, oh, this industry, there's no money in this. You punch them in the face, they say that. Next time someone says there's no money in this, go tell them, hey, how much money did John Wick raise for 7th Sea? Yeah, shut up. Go sit down. And that's the problem. Because you hear some people, oh, there's no money in this. No. If there's no money in this, people wouldn't be doing it. Don't kid yourself. Don't let people fool you with stupidity. Don't listen to those people. Those people are stupid. You know, are you going to get rich overnight? Of course you're not going to get rich overnight. But you are going to make some money. And if you make some smart moves, you can do very well. Novels, merchandise. Oh, yeah. Good Lord, Sean. There's so much you can do. There's so much. What, you think I'm doing e-fiction because I think e-fiction is the coolest thing ever? No, I'm doing e-fiction because it helps move my IP. And it does kind of nice that maybe Hollywood might find something and be like, ooh, I like this. I'd like to give you, they're going right now, if this blows my mind, like $10,000 to have you come out and talk to us about your stuff. Hollywood's so stupid. Quick story. I talked to a writer very well known that everybody knows. Look, everybody knows. We had a great conversation in Vegas. I just happened to catch him in the hallways, like one of those. That's why I see people's faces, very important. Caught him in the hallway, said, "Hey, can I buy you a drink so I can just bend your ear?" He's like, "Sure." Bought him a drink. Told me about his experience in Hollywood. He said that a book that he did. I don't want to reveal a person's name; it's gonna be very difficult, but I'm gonna do my best not to reveal it. He did a long series of books. Hollywood said, "Hey, we like your books. We'd like to have you come out here and have them discuss these books with you." I'm like, "Okay, no problem." So he goes out there, and he goes, "Well, how much are you going to pay me to come out?" They go, "Okay, we'll pay you." And this is what blows my mind. "We'll pay you 10 grand to come out, just talk about your book." He's like, "I'm there." Boom, gets there. They got the money for him waiting. He cuts down. They sit down. They talk. Bah, 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 bah. And he's about like an hour into it. He's like, "Yeah, all the stuff you guys are asking is really interesting, but you can find that stuff in the books. It's all in the books." He's like, "Well, yeah, we know it's in the books. We want you to tell us." He's like, "Okay, no problem." So this goes on for like 4 or 5 hours. And it basically keeps coming back around to every question they're asking. You can find it if you read the book. These guys were too lazy to read the book. Think about that. The guys in Hollywood wanted him to come out to promote his thing so they could maybe buy it. And they hadn't even read the book. And they gave him a check for 10 G's to come out there and tell him stuff. So it basically gets caught in development hell, but he flies back with a check and thing. Gets in development hell, never comes out. But he always said, that's how crazy Hollywood is. They give out money for stuff they could spend. They got $10,000 when they could have spent $6.99 and gotten the same information. That's how crazy Hollywood is. I know for myself, man. I got a thing optioned before the game even came out. The Haven City of Violence did not come out. They're like, "Hey, we'd like to option this for a movie." I'm like, "What are you talking about? It's not even out yet." "Don't worry, you've heard great things." You've heard what? We should take their money and do awesome stuff with it because they don't want to have it and we need it. So there you go. All right, I'm done. It's like, damn, 30 minutes. I didn't plan to go this long. So yeah, as always, boom. Check out over here for our YouTube stuff. And if we're fixing this face on, bam. On Facebook, you can always sign up to our main webpage, Louis Porter Design. Or if you're really smart, you should be signing up for Neo Access Legacies because I'm telling you, you all think I'm playing with you. I'm telling you, it's going to be awesome. I am not playing with you. If you play Pathfinder Society and you want to do this stuff, you need to get this. I'm not kidding with you guys. Boom. So yeah, so we're also going to be talking about some more stuff. Tomorrow, we have a very special event. Adam Dagel, rhymes with Bagel, is coming on the show, and we're going to talk about fun stuff. I'm going to talk about more interesting stuff. I'm going to talk about cool role-playing stuff. I'm going to talk about being a freelancer and how he came up. What worked for him, and what was the trick he used to get in. It will be interesting. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff and from the business side, check it out tomorrow. Even if not, check it out anyway because we could wind up drinking on this show and getting half drunk and telling stories you shouldn't be telling. That could be awesome. I mean, geez. Nothing will be the Jamal Idols interview that I had. If you haven't listened to that one, go listen to that one, and you'll see moments where there's actually like, "Oh my God, what?" That will happen. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. So there we go. I'm getting out of here. I'm all hyped up on sugar from Lucas's birthday. It's like, Jesus, that cake was. I only had one piece. I only had one piece of cake. But yeah, I'm just hopped up on sugar, so that's not good. I still have some more work to do. I got to finish some stuff up, but I'm getting out of here. So as always, thank you very much for stopping by. Stop by tomorrow. I'm going to put the link up everywhere, so it'll be everywhere. I just emailed Mr. Dagal. And so when I get the link tomorrow, I'll put it up everywhere. Like I said, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That's 6 p.m. in the Pacific Northwest, a.k.a. that West Coast time. That time zone that I don't usually go to. I'm East Coast. So we're going to be there. Remember. Yeah, God. And I forgot to mention that, Sean, I just drank some Mountain Dew. So, yeah, I might be jacked by Mountain Dew, too. So maybe that's the problem. Oh, yeah. So for the people who are not going to be the show, we're going to be watching Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I Hate You Like This. Right like this. My personal nurse got to see the first movie today and then the second one. It was a double feature thing she bought. And she hasn't called me yet. And I'm waiting for her to call me and tell me how great the movie was. She's another one. Right now, my personal nurse did that. Where am I? I'm talking to you. See the commitment? Where's your commitment? There you go. I'm getting out of here. I'll talk to you all tomorrow. I'll be here for the show. Remember, not on Facebook, only on YouTube. This one. Not this one. This one. All right, everybody. I'll talk to you all later.